Welcome to another video, and today we start in London, England at 3:15 a.m. So on this trip, we're gonna go from London to Zurich, and then Zurich to Chicago, and Chicago to Salt Lake City. However, we'll be doing it in business class. So I'll be taking Swiss business from London to Zurich, which will be the traditional European business. And then from Zurich to Chicago, we'll have business class, long haul business class with the bed and everything. So I'll take you on this adventure. I've got tight connection in Zurich, and I'll show you the seat. I'll show you how it works, especially this first leg, which is not like business class in the US. Oh, and at the end, I'll tell you how I booked this flight for almost nothing. After a 1 hour Uber ride from Canary Wharf, I was asleep, man. Arrived at Terminal 2 at Heathrow. Let's go check in. Alright, so now we're in the Lufthansa Business and Senator Lounge. Let's go check it out. So you get access to the Lufthansa Lounge at Heathrow Terminal 2 if you have a business or first class ticket on Swiss. It was nice. They had a bunch of fresh food ready for us in the morning. Now let's get onto this A320neo that was only 1 year old. I was seated in 3F. We got a little bit of breakfast as we cross the channel and head to Zurich. Also, some really great plane spotting from the air. I guess just all of these early morning flights are leaving at the same time, so you get to see a lot of airplanes in the air with you, which is a super cool experience. Now, let's land into Zurich and see what we see. Unfortunately, this was a very rainy day and gloomy day, and I had to run. This flight got there a little bit late, and I found out that it was in the wrong terminal. So I gotta take that train real quick for 20 minutes. And that's all I got to get to my next plane. Made it to Zurich, and I'm supposed to be in the same terminal, but I am not. So my flight is about to start boarding. Let's see if I make it. Okay, so this train was super interesting. It played a video where they were talking about the landscape in Switzerland and everything. It was very interesting. But after a quick stop at the lounge to use the restroom, we head onto our 13-year-old A330-300 out of Terminal 5. And here you can see the beautiful seat. It's very Swiss with the wood and the plaid, but it's old, and you can tell with this infotainment screen. But being at the bulkhead, I get a ton of room for my feet. And here we take off on an equally gloomy day because in the half an hour I was in Switzerland, the weather had not changed, and I'd never been there, so it was really pretty to see from above and how green it was. So let's get into all the things that we get. So there's an amenity kit, and then they pass out the menu for the food on the flight. And here you can see all the contents. You get some socks, an eye mask, toothbrush. It's decent and good enough. I didn't like the bag though. It felt very cheap and just nylon-y. But it is a European business class, so that is to be expected. Made it. Now, I do like that you actually get a physical menu, and you get to see all the different liquors, wines, and the food that you'll be served. And there are different options for vegetarian or meat, and you'll see what I chose soon. Of course, you get that pre-departure beverage and then another beverage when you're in the air. The food started out with an appetizer of fish with bread and cheese. Really nice. I took the red wine for this one as we cross over England. And then for dinner, I got a steak on a plane. And let me tell you, I know a lot of people fly business class all the time, but for me, having a steak on a plane was incredible. And then the tiramisu was probably the highlight. It was actually quite good and not super small as you would expect. But now I'm getting a little tired after all that food, so let's put this thing into bed mode and go to sleep for as long as we can. And I got a ton of space for my feet, as you can see, and I got that eye mask into good use. We're going to land now in Chicago. Long flight, went well. This lavatory, quite large. Overall, Really good flight. Now, as we approach Chicago, I want to do a little bit of a recap on this flight. It was an old plane, but the service was fantastic. The flight attendants were incredible. And look at this ANA 777 with the new interior, so really cool. But overall, Swiss Business, it was great, but I think I wouldn't waste points on it again. And there you go. That's how I got this ticket. I used points, I transferred over to United, and I had to use 88,000 points and only paid $34 in taxes. So really great redemption, and I have a super long connection in Chicago now.